Probably gonna have to adjust my camera some. You get all this pulled up. Oops. All right. Definitely didn't want to do that. No one wants to see me that close. Okay. Sorry about the lighting. I don't know why the lighting's that bad. But let's recap this week. I'll let a few people get in here if anyone wants to watch. Guys, my main picks were the 49ers, the Rams, Pittsburgh, Oakland, well, Las Vegas now. They were my upset pick. I had Andy Dalton throwing an interception. It was just the kind of things that I had on there, on my package that you would have cashed in. I literally put 3 props out today, 2 of them won. All right? This is what I'm doing for the guys that want to be part of what I'm doing. This is the kind of outcomes that they're getting. They're getting good odds on plus money. Guys, it's just there for the taking. It's a good investment, cheap investment. Hello, everyone that's in the chat. I don't see anyone chatting yet, so I'm gonna redo my filming here. But anyways, guys, it was a great week. Thursday was fantastic. Sunday was above average, about 60%, 65% or something. But today was the kicker. The Monday night was the kicker. Yeah, and guys, but I put this workup out to these guys on Friday, and on the last pick I had on my favorite picks, and I'm about to post these, and anyone that has the package knows. Anyone that's a monthly subscriber at that level knows. And they can vouch for it. I don't even got to say it. They can post it. Guys, I had the Raiders to win this game. Today, I put out to them guys, bet Jacobs for a touchdown, bet Lamar to run over his yardage total, and I had Andrews for a touchdown, but that one didn't come in. All right, but guys, these things are predictable in the NFL, right? The NFL is a consistency sport, all right? Teams are consistent in the NFL, all right? One thing I knew for sure, these were 2 pretty consistent offenses. And when you have 2 consistent offenses, generally you get a lot of points. It started out kind of slow, but it picked up. It did exactly what it was supposed to do. Lamar Jackson did 2 great things for us. He ran his yardage total and then fumbled a couple times. That's actually really, really consistent Lamar. He does have a little bit of a fumbling issue. So, guys, get involved. This was just week 1. You only have 1 week down. You only missed out on 1 week. If you're not involved already, get involved. Join that membership. That was a great game, right, Goods? Join that membership. Guys, I give these picks out. My membership on my website is $85 for the whole year. You get everything for the whole year. Guys, I guarantee you right now, if the people that bought that followed my picks this week, they've made their $85 back. They've already got their money back. All right, so now they're just getting my advice for free, essentially. 1 week, Enslow, my guy. There, see the little football helmet by him? That means he is a member. Enslow, tell him the truth, buddy. Tell him the truth. How did the picks turn out? I'll let you tell him. Because, guys, this is a predictable sport. Right? The NFL is a model of consistency. If you don't believe me that the NFL is a model of consistency, just look back. Look back at how many times teams do the same things. Look at how many times that players do the same things. Guys, I know big time handicappers always talk about how hard the NFL is to predict. That's just not true. It's much easier than the other sports, right? You just have to realize that it's consistent. The consistency is way up in the NFL. Look, guys, tell me right now, did the Kansas City game surprise you? No, I doubt it. Everyone pretty much knew that the Browns were a solid team and they were going to give them a run. Mahomes showed up with the ball late in the game and torched them, and that's what he does, right? Did the Pittsburgh game surprise you? I would say it surprised some, all right? Because so many people were high on Buffalo. You know who it didn't surprise? It didn't surprise Wager, right? Wager was on Pittsburgh Steelers from day one. My future bet was on the Pittsburgh Steelers over 8.5 wins, right? Why? Because they were 11-0 last year, and then their decimated defense lost them a few games, right? Well, that defense is back and healthy, so they're going to be a really good football team again. All right, so another thing, all right? The one game that surprised me more than any of them, all right? The one surprise of the week to me was how good Arizona was. And now I've rewatched that highlight a few times, that highlight game where it just shows the plays. I'm not so sure that Chandler Jones just didn't have the best game of his career. That is awesome, Enslow. That is fantastic. I love that, man. I love that. Okay, so a 307. Yeah, no, that's a huge percentage gain. That's like 20%, 25% gain. Tell me what you can get a 25% gain in one weekend in. All right? Tell me what investment you can get that out of. Right? I mean, guys, it's what it is. You can say it. I love that, man. That's awesome, right? And Enslow, I'm going to do my best, my very best to keep this rolling for us. Guys, I'm good at this. Anyone that was with me last year, they know too. They knew they were here. They know I'm good at this. All right? There's new people learning that I'm good at this. And guys, that's the only reason I'm charging for it is because people told me that I'm good at it and I need to be charging money for it. But go look at the other handicapping places. Go look at them. Just check them out. They're a lot more expensive than what I'm doing, and my percentages are on par with theirs. So you can go pay $3,500 a year with them, or you can pay $85 for me. All right? Sure, they have better backing. They have whole groups of people doing their research for them. But you know what? Everything I say is my opinion. Everything I do is the style I handicap. Right? I don't need help from statisticians and analytics people. I look stuff up and I find angles. But guys, mine is based off experience. It's based off being a bookie. It's based off real world, real life experience with handicapping the NFL. All right, so the one game that did surprise is Arizona. They played lights out. Chandler Jones had the best game of his career. Guys, I think we don't need to look at Tennessee. I don't think we need to take Tennessee and look at them bad for that game. I think that you just had one guy show up and wreck a game. All right? Now, another game that was a little surprising to me was how good the Eagles were. Right? The Eagles were a good football team on Sunday. They did a lot of really good things, and Jalen Hurts looked really, really good. So we're going to be looking out for the Eagles to be playing inferior teams from here on out and riding the Eagles. Right? They were solid. Right? Another game. I know people are like cheering the Dolphins like they did some great thing. They got lucky that caused a fumble. They were about to get a field goal kicked on them to lose the game. It wasn't like they really beat the Patriots. The Patriots kind of beat themselves right at the end of the game. And I bet they're kicking themselves for not starting Cam Newton, because I don't think that game would have been close if Cam Newton was in. Daniel Jones made some rookie mistakes that Cam Newton would not have. Cam Newton would have been able to run the football. I think they made a mistake there, and they let Miami get a win. Miami did not outplay them. Tua did not play well. All right, we're not going to trust Miami, and I know people are jumping on that. Look, they beat the Patriots, and no, they really didn't. If you go rewatch the highlight game, it was two bad teams playing football. All right, so let's talk about the craziest game of the week, right? Maybe besides this Monday night game, but the craziest game of the week had to be the San Francisco-Detroit, right? So San Francisco comes out, does exactly what they're supposed to do, and puts crush mode on Detroit. And then the fourth quarter rolls around. Oh, I bet it is. It always does that. But guys, Lamar Jackson said that the Kansas City Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes are his kryptonite. So until I see or hear different, we are on the Kansas City Chiefs. And guys, Mahomes has not lost in the month of September. Mahomes has not lost in the month of September. 35 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. All right? We are going to stick with that. There's no reason to deviate. All right? That is straight from Jake from Square Para. He does a lot of good looking into those kind of things. He is really good at guys. Check Square Para out. They're a good group. Check their channel out if you're not already there. But guys, man, Mahomes is 35 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, and 11-0, I think, in September. We're not deviating from that. I don't care if we have to take the money line. We are not deviating from that trend. There's no reason to believe that changes against Baltimore. He has dominated Baltimore. So yeah, we're on that one. We're on that one. That's a freebie. You should already know this stuff. You should already know that Lamar Jackson said that Mahomes and the Chiefs are his kryptonite. So there's no reason to even consider the other direction. Now, if that spread comes out at 10.5, we're going to go the other way, but it won't. It'll be 7.5, something like that. It might be even not that high. It might be 4.5. So I don't think it's going to start as high, but it's going to end higher probably because you got a lot of Chiefs money that'll roll in. But guys, believe it or not, the Raiders was kind of an easy pick. And let me explain how I handicapped that game. All right, -4. See, I don't even have to look. So the way I handicapped the Raiders, right? Number one, they didn't have fans all year last year. They were going to be playing in front of fans for the first time. So it was actually the real opening of the stadium in Las Vegas, right? All right. The Raiders are a good football team on offense, right? Their defense looked a little better today, but they're still not a great defense. But on offense, they are good, right? And they did a good job today. Now, they had shaky spots, but once it got rolling, it got really rolling. All right? That game should have ended in the beginning of the overtime, not after the craziness. That false start penalty was ridiculous. All right? Guys, that was an easy handicap. The Raiders getting points at home opening day, Monday Night Football, in their new stadium. The situation itself dictated that you take the Raiders. Sometimes it has nothing to do with the teams. It has everything to do with the situation. That's just like the situation we're in with the Broncos. The Broncos beat the Giants. Hold on, my computer just died. So, what we're going to do is we're going to flip this around. And you guys are going to see me this way, which is kind of weird, but we're going to do it like this because my computer died. So, guys, the Broncos have what is called a money line stack, is what I call a money line stack. You still should have started with the Giants, and I put this out there many times to various people, so you should have paid attention. Now we get the Jaguars and the Jets back to back, so we're going to keep parlaying that money off the Giants game, straight into the Jags game, straight into the Jets game because it's going to be 3 wins in a row, and it's a free way to kind of get a parlay out of a scheduling advantage, and that's the kind of things you look for. I haven't found another one yet that I really like. I've found some 2 gamers, but I really like them to be 3 because that third game really multiplies your money. And so, guys, that's the kind of stuff I look for. I find different angles than that's normal. I'm not the normal guy. I'm not the guy you can go watch on Wager Talk or any of those, or Fox Bet or anything on ESPN. No, the Raiders won, sir. Mr. George from CY. The Cypress Raiders won. The Cypress Raiders came through and got it done in Las Vegas. So I'm going to need you to get it done in Las Vegas as well, Mr. George from CY. We are expecting a Raiders-like performance from you. A lot of points, a lot of scoring, and a lot of money. But anyways, guys, it's that easy. I'm telling you. You know how easy it is to pick winners in the NFL? It's as easy as buying my package. That's just how easy it is. You buy my package, you're going to get winners. Guys, the proof is in my history. It's in this week. It'll be in next week. Carr over 1.5 TDs. I like that. I didn't even notice that one. That was a good one. I didn't even notice that one. He threw 4 TDs or something. One got called back, right? So, really, he threw a 5th one to Snead. It just bounced off his hands and then hit a helmet and then it landed in a Raven. So, but guys, again, I really want to talk about this 49ers game because I want to point something out in this game, and I'm going to point it out on the primetime show this week too. All right, so I had 2 main handicaps in this game. Well, 3, but 2 main ones, right? The first one was the 49ers were going to cover 7.5. Now, when that spread jumped all the way up to 9, I didn't say anything about that. In fact, I told people not to take that at 9. But at 7.5, I said that's going to cover. It should have covered easily. Some craziness happened. Somehow, the Detroit Lions got back within 8. But whatever. It's still covered. But what I also said, and this is the other handicap, is I said take the under. And my reasoning behind take the under was I didn't think Detroit would score. And so this is what I want to talk about here on the handicap side of that. If the Detroit would have came back and covered that 7.5, that still would have been a good handicap because craziness had to happen to ruin the bet. Now, it didn't happen. It almost did. Now, on the other side, the under, that was a bad handicap. So that was a mistake on my part. I assumed something based upon 2 years ago what I saw out of San Francisco, and they're not exactly the same yet. And so that was a bad handicap. So there's no excuses there. That was just a bad call on my part. It was a fail, right? But if that point total, if that spread would have got beat, that it was still a good handicap. It was still the right handicap. So that's what I want to explain to people is that sometimes handicaps are good but still lose, and sometimes handicaps are bad and they get crushed. And that's usually how you can tell. If you're handicapped, if you think something's going to happen and it does totally something different, it was just a bad handicap. Guys, you're going to have bad handicaps. I'm going to have bad handicaps. But overall, I'm going to have way more good ones than bad ones. And that's how you win money. So that's what I wanted to point out. Now, my other handicap in the game that was that the 49ers would score on defense, which they did. The talent level of the Detroit Lions just isn't good enough. And so I figured that Goff would have to force the ball, and he did, and he threw it to one of the 49ers, and they ran it back. But guys, that's the kind of thing that you need to understand if you're going to be a sports bettor, is that sometimes you got the right play and it goes wrong. And sometimes you think you got the right play and it gets crushed. You need to be able to separate the ones that were still good, that even though they lost, it was still the right play, and the ones that were bad. Because you need to know when you're making a mistake. You need to know when you've made a bad handicap. All right? And so here's another bad handicap, okay? I said that Higbee would score a touchdown. All right? he really didn't get that many targets from Matthew Stafford when it came down to the red zone. I think there was one that kind of got thrown by him, but he did, between the 20s, he got a ton of targets and he got a bunch of yards. Higbee's yardage totals are always really low. They're like 29 and 31 and 24. So we're going to watch that. We're going to watch those Higbee yardage totals. We're going to get off him on all right? Because the touchdowns, obviously Stafford's not looking for him down there. He's looking for Kupp and he's looking for Woods, and he's, they're running the ball. So that's okay. We know that after week 1, though. We only missed on one play. We'll flip it around. We'll start getting on Higbee's yardage plays. What I also saw today in this game was that we're making a concerted effort on the Ravens side of the football to throw it to the receivers and not Mark Andrews, because Mark Andrews was open plenty of times. He had a couple big plays he missed, that Lamar missed him a couple drops. I just don't think they were. I think the Ravens are going away from just directly targeting him all the time, which is also a good thing to know. So we're going to watch that, see if that continues in this next week, because if it does, then we're going to get all the way off Mark Andrews stuff, right? Because he's a really good moneymaker normally for touchdowns, because last year he was always getting the ball in the red zone. You're welcome, buddy. You are welcome. Look at that little helmet by ATS. Look at that. That's a good thing. Everyone should have one of those little helmets. So if you want to get one of those little helmets, hit that join button. And then you can pick one of them and get one of the little helmets by your name. But anyways, guys, I got a good slate coming up this week. It's not the best slate, but there's a couple really good ones that we're going to get on early, and that they're killers. All right. There's a couple really easy ones. All right. This one's not going to have as many plays in it, because week 1 you have a lot more time to study. You have a lot more time to go over the information. Week 2, week 3, and so on, you have a couple days, and that's it. And you got to get it in. And if they're early lines, you got to get them, or if you got to wait late. So you got to pay attention to that. All right. The 49ers, you had to get on that early. You didn't want to wait late. You wait late, you got burned. All right. For everyone that has a little helmet, they will be by Wednesday. Yes, sir. We are going to film the... Yes. Week 2 is very scary. Worst week in the NFL, right? Because so much overreaction happens. And I'm going to temper my overreactions as best I can. But guys, that's why we're going to not pick a lot of games this week. Right? Overreactions happen. Okay, so here's a huge overreaction game. That Tennessee's a bad offense. Right? Tennessee's not a bad offense, right? Chandler Jones wrecked that game. We are not going to overreact to Tennessee. But I bet you that over and under, that total on Tennessee drops way down this week because of that. So we're going to look at that and see if it's done that. If it is, we'll probably get on that. Because, guys, they're not a bad offense. They were a fantastic offense last year. Derrick Henry didn't do much, but they didn't give him a lot of opportunities. I think this week, Derrick Henry has a huge game. They're going to go back to their bread and butter. They're going to pound the rock. It's Mike Vrabel's plan. He's going to say, no, we're not doing that again. It's going to be a 25-carry game from Henry. He's going to have 130 yards, a couple of scores. That's what we'll probably do. We will probably ride Derrick Henry this week. All right? We'll probably stay away from that other stuff in the game, but we'll jump on Derrick Henry's back, because guys like that don't have 2 bad games in a row. They just don't. When you're the best at something, you don't lose twice in a row. So that's one angle. So anyone that's not on the memberships, that's a good angle for you. So check it out yourself. All right, check that out. Don't overreact in week 2, guys. Don't all of a sudden think Detroit's a good football team. All right, Detroit's talent dictates they're not a good football team. Just because they had this miraculous 4th quarter and made that score reasonable. Guys, it was 41-17 in that game at one point. All right, it ended 41-33. All right, so it wasn't like that they weren't getting crushed. They were. So don't overreact to that. Another thing is, don't overreact to the Patriots being bad and the Dolphins winning. All right, both of those are still pretty bad football teams. All right, they didn't change any. Tua didn't change any. He's not good. He's not elite. He's not even. Tua is not even a 2nd-tier quarterback. He's in the bottom tier. right? So pay attention to that, Dolphins fans. Don't get starry eyes because you got a 1-point win on a fumble at the 30-yard line, right? That they could have easily kicked a field goal and beat you. So don't get starry eyes. And not New England. Don't get down. Mac Jones played okay, all right? He'll get better. And the New England defense will get better. They didn't have Gilmore. So, guys, so we're not going to overreact. I do like the Eagles. I think the Eagles were real. They played Atlanta, and they stifled Atlanta's offense, all right? I do think that what I saw out of the Eagles, I've watched that game a few times, what I saw out of the Eagles was quality football on both sides of the ball. And Jalen Hurts looked really good. Like, he was rolling out, he was moving, he was throwing the ball on target on time. We're going to pay a lot of attention to that, right? I'm starting to like how the Eagles played. Another one. Guys, the Cowboys offense is going to score points. That's the truth. We're going to look at that every week. Are we going to be able to make money on the Cowboys offense? Because they have 3 number 1 receivers. One of them's hurt right now, but they still have 2 number 1s. Ezekiel Elliott, 2 pretty good tight ends, and Dak Prescott's there. They're going to score points. It's going to happen. So we're going to look at those. Here's one. The Giants, guys. The Giants, we saw what the Giants are on the field at home against Denver. If the Giants are playing a defense of any caliber, if it's a top 15 defense, the Giants are going to struggle, right? So we're going to look at that. So this week is that answer, right? This is a primetime game, so I'm going to give out some tips, right? Guys, Washington at home. Guys, Taylor Heinicke is going to be the starter, right? It's not a lot of drop-off from Fitzpatrick to Heinicke. Maybe none. Heinicke may be better. You guys remember last year in the playoffs, Heinicke took the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to the limit. He did everything he could to win that football game. His defense kind of let him down, right? There's also a thing called the injured quarterback theory, right? Or the injured player theory, but it's really a quarterback thing. So what ends up happening is, you can look at this, you can look this up, is if a starting quarterback goes down, the next game, that backup, the team plays up for the backup, and they cover spreads or they outright win games. Well, in this case, they're going to have to cover a spread, which is fine. But they're going to play up for Heinicke. He's young, he can move, he has a pretty good arm, and they're a pretty good football team. Washington's a good football team, guys. They lost a tough game against another pretty good football team in the Chargers, so it wasn't like you're funny. But so one of the things you're going to get out of that is, you got a great pass rush, right? You got a great pass rush in Washington, and Daniel Jones just struggled with a great pass rush out of Denver. Von Miller had a day. They didn't even have both of their pass rushers, right? Chubb was out, but Von Miller had a day. And the same thing's going to happen. Washington's going to dominate that offense, and they're going to dominate Daniel Jones. So I know we missed on the Daniel Jones interception prop, but if you guys watch that game, 3 or 4 balls bounced off the DBs for Denver. There was 4 or 5, probably 4 total chances for interception in the game. They just didn't catch any of them. All right, same thing here. You're going to be looking at those interception props with Daniel Jones. You're going to be looking at Washington to dominate. That's probably going to be an under. That game's probably going to go under, and it's a 42, so it's going to be a low. I feel like it's going to be low. But it's definitely one of those ones where you can tease it up to 52 with a 3-game teaser. Tease it up to 52, and you're getting a lot of value there. They're not going to go over 52, you know what I mean? Not those 2 defenses. And so that's how you win that under. You use a 10-point teaser, pair it up with 2 other games that you're really sure of, and you win that way. So again, guys, I just want to tout what I did this week. And anyone that bought the package, they got the breakdowns. They know what happened. They saw what happened on my favorite picks of the week. I think I went 65% maybe on them, 63%, something, I'm not sure. But I got my upset. I got a couple of my favorite picks in. I picked the money line for Houston to win. I mean, I bet on Houston this week. It's at Chicago, right? Guys, that's another thing. No, that's another thing, okay? Don't overreact to Chicago getting beat by the Rams handily. Chicago ran the ball well against the Rams. They actually played pretty good football against the Rams. The Rams were just that much better than them, right? I think they ran for, that was the first 100-yard rusher the Rams have given up in like 17 or 18 games. So, guys, don't sleep on Chicago. Chicago's better than I think, better than I thought week one. They ran the ball really well. And Andy Dalton obviously came through on the first drive through that interception. They got tipped. Gotta love Andy Dalton, man. He likes throwing picks, and it's easy to make money on him. But one of the things there, thank you, Bob. Appreciate that, buddy. Bob McKee is also a one of my members. He just bought on the website, so he doesn't have a little football head. I wish I could put that on your name, even though you didn't buy through the YouTube. That kind of sucks that I can't do that. I need to figure out a way to do that. But yeah, so we're not going to sleep on the Bears here. I actually kind of like the Bears at home against Cincinnati. Joe Burrow had a great game. Cincinnati was rolling. They got 27 points. They really dominated Minnesota the whole game. Minnesota had to come back in that game. Cincinnati's looking salty. So we kind of knew they were on the upswing, right? Hey, Magic. We kind of knew they were on the upswing last year. Before Burrow went down, they were giving people problems. They weren't necessarily winning games, but they were giving people problems. You know, Jamar Chase showed up, had a good game. Cincinnati's going to be a fun one to catch on some point spreads. They're going to get some points here and there on some teams that are perceived better than them. And in this case, so for example, right here, here's a great teaser for you guys. 6-point teaser. Get on the Cincinnati 6-point teaser. You're going to go from 2.5 to 8.5. It's a good 6-point teaser. All right. You're going through 3, 4, 6, 7. All right, that's good. That's what you want. It's called a Wong teaser. You pair it up with something else. All right, Wong teasers are good. You want Wong teasers. All right, if you don't know what I'm talking about, it's Stanford Wong. He wrote some books about teasers. Go check them out. You can read most of it online. It's a very common thing in the sports betting world, especially with the NFL, is to play Wong teasers. They make tons of sense. So that's what you do because the NFL is consistent. Again, the reason Wong teasers work at such a high rate is because the NFL is consistent. So what it means, Wong teaser is if you go through key numbers in the NFL using a 6-point teaser, right? So if you go through the 3, you go through the 4, the 6, the 7, that's a good teaser. If using the Wong teaser. So games like Cincinnati. All right, and you can go the other way too. So if you have a 7.5, and you're going to take it down, right? You're going to go through the 7, the 6, the 4, and the 3. You're going to get it down to 1.5. All you got to do, pretty much most of the time, is win the football game. So that's another way to do it. So there's always some like that as well. So there was 2 this week. You could have got the Bears and the 49ers in that fashion. And you would have won both games. And that's how Wong teasers work. And you guys should be paying attention to that, all right? This is for my non-members. I'm giving this out to you non-members. Go read what a Wong teaser is, all right? It'll help your handicapping. It'll help your sports betting, all right? That's nothing new. But a lot of people don't know about it for some reason. So, again, for my members, you don't got to worry about it. I'm going to break it down for you, baby. And you're going to see it. You're going to see exactly just like I gave you this week. You're going to see exactly what I'm thinking, why I'm thinking it. And yeah, we're going to keep this up. We're going to make some more money. So my $200 DraftKings account is sitting over 1,000 after week 1. I mean, I had bet on some college. Don't tease through the 0. That's right. So if you have a -3, don't go to +3. It doesn't make sense. Right? Troy Rogers is very correct. If you have a -4, don't go to a +2. It doesn't make any sense, guys. Don't do those things. Think about it the other way, okay? Would you rather have the favorite with a +3 or in a tight game, or would you rather have the underdog with a +9 in a tight game? Think about that stuff before you put those bets in, all right? You have to go through if you go through the website, that's the yearly package. If you go through YouTube, it's the monthly package, Bob. I don't know how I'm going to get that helmet on you guys. I don't know how. I don't think I'm going to be able to do it. And that's how they get those helmets. So through YouTube, you get a little helmet, and if you buy that package, it's a monthly thing though through YouTube, as whereas you bought the whole package for $85, and I'm sure you won all your money back this week. So even if you were making $10 bets, you won all your money back. So again, guys, I don't know what else to say. I mean, success speaks volumes, and so you guys see these guys on here that have bought the packages, and they're talking about success. What's up, Mr. Patel? How are you, buddy? So, guys, again, we're talking about handicapping. Learn what Wong teasers are. What's the monthly cost? If you just want to be part of my channel, it's like $3. If you want the NFL stuff where you're going to gamble on it, you might as well spend the $20 and get everything. You can spend 10, I think it's 10, and get just my favorite plays, but you won't get my full breakdown of the whole week, every game. Well, that's crazy. It was made in Maryland or something, wasn't it? DraftKings was made in Maryland or something. It's crazy it's not allowed in Connecticut. How is sports betting not allowed in every state? I don't get that. That doesn't even make no sense, right? So, I'm just saying, it's that easy, guys. It's really as easy as just putting your time and effort into it. If you want to do this by yourself, just go put the time and effort into it. Watch some of these other shows on YouTube. They'll give you a lot of pointers. I'll give you as many pointers as you want. You can contact me personally. You can know my email address. This is wagermethis.com. You can go to my website and contact me that way. I'll give you pointers. I won't necessarily give you game picks, but I'll teach you how to handicap. That's hilarious. Well, if you get a helmet, I'm still going to send you the stuff. So, or you're going to be on the members posts, or you're going to see it either way. So, sell it to your friends. I don't know. But anyways, I appreciate that. Yeah, I hate Bovada. I hate BetOnline. I've had so much problems with those two companies. God, I've had a lot of problems with them. Have zero problems with DraftKings. Tons of problems with those companies. I'm hoping to be kind of sponsored by DraftKings here in the very near future. I'm waiting to hear back from them. If I am and they start sending me some stuff to give out, I'm definitely going to start giving out. And guys, I know I said I was going to have a giveaway, but my job has got in the way of that a little bit, but I promise that's coming. I have some really good stuff to give away, and there'll be two ways to do it. If you're a member, even at the $3 level, you're going to be entered into these giveaways just for being a member. And so for all the guys that bought off the website, you're entered too. All right. And guys, I want to say something. Duck Sally, if you hear this message, if you watch this channel, if you hear this, Duck Sally, your email does not work. So Duck Sally email at Comcast or whatever, the email you gave me does not work. I'm not going to be able to send you anything because I've tried your email like 25 times and it just keeps sending it back. So if you hear this message, I need you to give me your phone number or a different email or some way for me to get you these picks this week. I've looked all through my information. If it comes down close to the day, I'm probably just going to refund you your money because I don't want you to not get your picks. So, Duck Sally, get in touch with me. You know my phone number. It came with the picks. Text me, email me, something to give so I can get you these picks. Right? Everyone else is good. Everyone else's stuff works. You should have been getting emails from me. I gave you 2 out of 3 on a prop today. So if you played those props, you went 66% today. Good job. If you only played one of them, maybe you hit. I don't know. Pretty easy to hit. It's 2 out of 3. So, but anyways, again, I'm here giving my information out at a really good rate, and I'm giving you winners for the most part. It's easy to make money when you're playing 60+% winners. It's just easy to make money that way. Here's another good handicapping tip. Don't parlay a bunch of games together. This is a common mistake that new people into sports betting make. Don't parlay a bunch of games together. It doesn't make any sense, right? I know you're getting odds, right? But you're making it so hard to win that you're really just giving your money away. If you're going to parlay 2, at the most 3. All right, don't parlay 6 and 5 and 10 and if you're going to do you want to do a 3-gamer, do a 3-game 10-point teaser at -120. All right, you're getting a 10-point advantage. Right, and you're only having to pay 20%, 20 cents on juice. Right, if you want to parlay two bets. 2 bets. You're going to get 2.5 to 3 to 1. Right, 2 bets. Parlay 2. That's it. Right? You only have to think about this. Okay, so I'm going to give you an example. Okay, if you play a 4-pick and you go 75%, it means you went 3 out of 4. Right? You still lost, but your actual handicapping was 75%. So think about that. If you would have played them all individually, you would have won 3 and lost 1. So just think about that. Right? You played a 4-pick and lost. You could have played them all individually and won 3 out of 4. Same thing with 2 picks, right? If you have 4 games, mix them up 2, 2, and 2. All right? If you go 75%, you would have won 2 out of 3. So it's I don't know. Never mind. A 4-pick would be 2, 2, 2, 2. It'd be like 6 games, right? 6 plays. You still would go 66% or whatever. Anyways, but I think you understand what I'm saying is that, guys, if you're playing parlays and you're getting down to 1 game, that should tell you you're doing something wrong. All right, if you're playing 3 picks, 4 picks, 5 picks, and you keep getting down to one thing's making you lose, that's not a sign that you're doing good and you're going to hit them. That's a sign that you're messing up and you should have been playing them individually, because you would have been winning multiples and losing 1. So think about all that stuff. Quit making handicapping mistakes. Quit making betting mistakes. And guys, bet single plays. The thing you should be doing is between 80 and 85% of all your bets should be single bets. All right? Between 10 and 15-ish% should be parlays, teasers, those kind of things. And like 1% should be home runs. Should be going for big money line parlays, should be going for a 10 pick here and there, just some craziness, all right, where you put a little bit of money to win a lot, all right? But that should be 1%. 1% of all the bets you make. 85% should be on single games. And 10-ish, 15% if you're good, if you're doing really well, on parlays. And teasers are also parlays, guys. You just get to adjust the spread. So stick to those numbers, stick to those rules, and you'll be better. You'll be much better. Stick to Wong teasers. You'll be much better. Don't play big parlays. You'll be much better. All right? Another thing is don't play with your heart. All right? If your team is overmatched, your team is overmatched. You don't have to play against them. Just don't play that game. Just dodge it. All right? So here's a good example of what happened, okay, this week. All right? There's a ton of Baltimore fans. Tons of Baltimore fans out there. Tons of Buffalo fans. Both of those teams lost outright when they were favorites. Why did they lose outright as favorites? Because they weren't the better football team necessarily. All right? But Vegas knows that there's a ton of fans. Now, there's a ton of Pittsburgh fans too. But Buffalo was everybody's darling. So they put this 6-point spread out 6 months ago, and people started going, oh yeah, Buffalo's probably going to cover that. No, they're not. Come on. But anyways, this was a 43-minute show so far, and I think I gave out enough good information. I just want to say thank you guys to everybody that has got involved with my handicapping and bought my packages. I appreciate it. I hope I'm doing well for you. I hope you followed my picks, and I hope you're in the green or black or however you put it. I hope you paid it. I hope you paid for the investment already. That way you're playing my stuff for free all year. You get my information for free after week 1. What a deal. And guys, if you're not involved, right, as every month goes, I'm going to take that yearly package down $20. So at the end of 4 weeks, I'm going to take it down $20. At the end of the next 4 weeks, I'm going to take it down $20. So you can wait and get involved later. My handicapping will get more precise later. I know, right? AFC and NFC West, the showdown. 4-0. They did get some interesting opponents though. So, I mean, the AFC, I mean the NFC West, they got the Colts, which is a solid team against Russell Wilson, the road warrior. He's good at winning on the road. But the Bears and Detroit, that were gimmies. And then, Tennessee wasn't necessarily a gimme, but Arizona came to play. All right, now in the AFC side, Kansas City was in a dogfight. The Raiders were in a dogfight. And the Chargers were in a dogfight. But the Broncos got the Giants, so they dominated. I mean, but yeah, it's cool to have two divisions go 4-0 in week 1. It's pretty neat. But anyways, guys, thank you for your time, and check out my packages. Just you can join for 1 month, $20. Join for 1 month, see what I got. Listen to these other guys that are already in. I don't got to tout it. They can. They're going to tell you the truth. I'm going to post my whole workout anyway. So the games I've already played. I'm going to post my whole workout publicly, and I'm going to show pictures of my DraftKings account, and you guys will see all that. So there you go. You'll have a great night. This is Jacob from Wager Me This, and hey, don't forget to subscribe to Square Pair. Those guys need you. All right.